Okay, a brand spanking new survey finds Generation Y, those are the kids born in the early 80s to the late 90s, they might end up being the most entrepreneurial generation ever. Last year, the survey says roughly 160,000 startups a month were led by millennials. Carol Roth is a business expert, and she's the author of the best-selling book, The Entrepreneur Equation. Welcome back to the show, Carol. Okay, so you and I were talking in the break, and I said, are these kids, are they really starting new businesses? Or are they just, playing around at home in mom and dad's basement?
Well, I always think it's an interesting excuse when it says, oh, well, I can't find a job, I'm going to go out and start a business, Jerry. Well, if you can't woo one employer into hiring you, who you know better than anybody else on the planet, how are you wooing the customers on a daily basis? So you've got thousands of customers every day that you have to convince to buy your product or service, but you can't convince one person to hire you. And so for me, I just don't understand that as an excuse to go out and start a business.
Well, okay, but in reality, there are pros. I mean, you think of the little Susie Lemonade girl. She goes out and starts her own business. Okay, it's fake. It's an ad, I know. But, okay, so being entrepreneurial does teach you a lot of lessons, and you do learn how to start a business. What other pros can you think of?
Well, I think obviously entrepreneurship and innovation is the cornerstone of America, and technology is what's going to drive this company or this country forward. So if you think about Gen Y, they're entrenched in the internet and social media and technology and mobile. So they're certainly in a good position to be able to start those businesses. They also don't have a lot at risk. They are the ones that can go and put 16, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, and eat ramen noodles because they don't have to worry about a family. So from that standpoint, from a risk and reward standpoint, they don't have a lot of downside. So that's what makes sense to me, Jerry.
All right, but it's a lame excuse for not getting a job. That's your view, right?
Not only is it a lame excuse, but the other issue is how do they have the money to start the business and to live on? Because if they
Mom and Dad, Bank of Mom and Dad, that's the case.
Bank of Mom and Dad, but what if you have college debt? How are you funding the business and living and paying down your college debt? That's my question, because it takes a while for these businesses to get going.
Do you think that some of these kids are part of the political generations that's protesting Occupy everything, and they don't want to be part of corporate America?
I actually think that's a brilliant point, and I think that that's an issue we're going to face going forward. I mean, think about it. You've got the P&Gs of the world, all the Fortune 500, 1,000. How many of those are in America? What are we going to do when we've got this whole generation that says, oh, the corporate man is lame, I don't want to go working for him? Who's going to be running these businesses 20 years from now? That's a big concern for me. And I think another thing, Jerry, you're talking about Facebook right now. They're going public, and Instagram. And I think there's this sort of new, if I just hang out for a little while, I'm going to be a billionaire. We're talking about these because they're still extreme examples. If they weren't extreme, they wouldn't be newsworthy. It doesn't happen to everyone.
The numbers are very big.
Right.
All right, Citi is launching a new program for small business operators. And it's interesting because Amex, American Express, has claimed this as their turf forever. What do you make of it?
Well, loyalty programs are sort of like the toaster of the 21st century, right? It's the sparkly new, here's the sizzle. But as a business owner, I really encourage you to look at the stick because your financials are too important. So think about the relationships, think about the fees, think about the access to capital. So, I understand you want to have the loyalty programs, but go a little bit deeper. The other thing that concerns me about this is that they said they're going to make it easier to combine your personal points and your business points. And to me, for a business owner, that raises a huge red flag because business owners are having such a hard time keeping their personal and professional lives separate. The IRS does not like when you commingle your funds. So if you get in the mindset and you get in the practice of merging your personal and your business together, that's going to come and haunt you during tax time.
Bad habits don't get started. Carol Roth, thanks for coming on tonight.
Always.
Great information and really good insight into the millennials. I thought that was fascinating. Thank you.